welcome back to 5 Days to a Better Friendship with God. Today is day 5. It's the last day, folks, but this is going to be great. We're talking about how prayer changes you, and I think one of the things that, even with this, it's not only changes you, it changes God, maybe? Hard to believe, but we're going to talk through that because God listens to your prayers and He cares for you, and He wants to interact with you, and there just may be He might do something He wasn't planning on because you asked. Or maybe He was planning on it, but He was waiting for you to ask. Either way, prayer is important, and prayer has an opportunity to make it a lasting impact. So the story I want to tell is actually a story of my daughter and I. Both daughters, actually, as they were growing up and they were little, and we would go to church and we would worship. It was so common. I would have one or both of them in my arms as we were worshiping. They loved it. It was as soon as the music came on and we were going to worship, they put their arms up, they look up, and I would hold them in my arms. And the best part of it, it's not just that they were close, but I could hear their little voices as they were singing along to the worship. And it was so precious. And it's one of those things that if you have young children, do it. Oh my goodness. It was so wonderful. But this particular example was, I had the kids in my arms at different times. They were getting a little older, so I would do one at a time. And so I had done the older one, and then I was doing the younger one, and my back was starting to hurt. And I was like, okay, I'm getting tired. So I put her down, and she was down for a little bit. And then she came back and she kind of held my hand, and I thought she was going to ask to be picked up again, because a lot of times they would ask again. But she did. She wanted to pull me up front, and it turned out that she wanted to take me to the front of the church. There was an open space in the front of the church, kind of off to the side, but she wanted to dance with me. And I did not want the attention. I did not want to go up front and be in front of everyone. But her little eyes and her desires, like, what would I rather have? Do I rather stay where I'm at so I wouldn't be embarrassed? Or do I want a little girl that wants to worship, not only be with her dad, but to worship God? And so, of course, I went. And we danced, and it was uncomfortable, but it was good because we had that connection. And I just want to say that God is the same way. God is a good father. He listens to the heart of his children. And sometimes he'll do things because not so much that was his plan, but he wants to connect with us. A good father puts the good desires of his children ahead of his own. And it's easy to see as me as a human father, but sometimes with God. And we're going to go through stories of that and examples of that, and it's going to be pretty exciting. But that's really the power of prayer. The power of prayer is that God may do something he wasn't planning on because you asked. And maybe he was planning on it. He was waiting for you to ask. And that's exciting. So this is day 5. It's going to be a great lesson. Look forward to hearing the stories of how God has grown his relationship, his friendship with you over this course. So keep in touch and enjoy the lesson.